Hey, what's going on, y'all? I really don't like doing weather videos, but I figured why not? I wanted to talk about it, and I do have 9,000 plus subscribers, so I figured I'd give it a try. I know my audience is mostly wrestling fans, but figured I'd give this a shot. Um, because a lot of people aren't talking about it. They say it's too far out, don't talk about it. But I live in eastern North Carolina. So I want to talk about the possibility of a storm hitting the East Coast. I'm not going to say where. I'm just going to show you some of the models, and we'll go from there. Um, this is the GFS 06Z. Hold on a second. I forgot to share my screen. Like I said, I'm not really. Let's start off with. Uh, let's make this. Hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out what screen I'm trying to share. Okay, here we go. With this one. This is the 06Z. Let's get my screen right. This is obvious. The 06Z shows this. Oh, yeah. I guess it isn't far enough out. Let's move on to a different one. What is going on? Ah, I see this. I don't know if this applies. All right. So this one is coming in and scrapes the Outer Banks. This is the 18Z. Scrapes the Outer Banks. I'm going to show that again. Scrapes the Outer Banks of North Carolina. That's pretty alarming. And then there's this. This one is probably the most alarming. This is a Cat 4 hitting South Carolina. I'm not saying any of this is going to happen, but these two scenarios have been playing out in the past few GFS runs. But this one is where it really starts getting concerning. The latest European, because the Euro wasn't really showing East Coast landfall, but now it's starting to show very, very, very close to Florida, very close to Florida, and that's as far as that one goes out. Oh, I didn't share that. All right, I'll back up a little bit. This one, the European, shows very, very close to Florida. This is the 00Z for the European. very, very close to Florida. So that's highly alarming because because you have the GFS suggesting in the past 2 out of 3 runs that an East Coast landfall is going to happen, and then you have the European kind of starting to agree with that. So if you're living on the East Coast anywhere, I think you should take notice of this one. And let's see. Let's go back and show them again. I'll go one at a time. All right. Right here, if you look right here, it'll tell you what run it is. And let's tab. The GFS I think is running right now. The latest GFS. This is some of the previous runs. And I think this one's out to sea. I'm not sure. No, this is going to be the one that hits the Outer Banks. Yeah. So that's alarming. That's pretty alarming. And then there's this one. This is the most crazy. Just we don't want that one to happen. Just completely. This South Carolina hasn't seen a storm like that in a very, very long time. And then, of course, the one that really is because it has been all the GFS until the latest Euro has ran. It was all the GFS. GFS was really the only one suggesting East Coast landfall. And then this is your latest European model, getting dangerously close to Florida. In fact, I think if this was to continue, you could see a landfall somewhere between Georgia and North Carolina if this was to continue. Maybe possibly Florida. So Florida through North Carolina seems to be most on high alert. But I know a lot of people don't want to talk about this. They want to talk about the islands, but I personally know that most of the people who watch my channel live in the United States, so they want to talk about the possibility of a United States landfall. And I think the chances of a United States landfall are going up. I know the out to sea option, I just don't see it anymore. I don't think out to sea is an option anymore. But I might be wrong. I'm no expert. I'm just a wrestling guy talking about the weather. My channel is mostly about pro wrestling. So if you do like pro wrestling, you should definitely subscribe to the channel. Anyways, that's going to do it for this. I just want to talk a little about this. I might do some shorts about the storm, but very, very interesting developments. Peace, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're a wrestling fan.